A just, equitable and sustainable world in which every person enjoys their right to a life of dignity, freedom from poverty and all forms of oppression. This is the vision of ActionAid. It is a mandate for change and development, especially for people living in poverty and exclusion. Voted the Not-for-Profit Organization of the Year 3 consecutive times by the Chartered Institute of Marketing Ghana, ActionAid Ghana works to ensure social justice, gender equality and poverty eradication in our communities. For 27 years, ActionAid Ghana, an affiliate member of a Global Justice Federation of more than 45 countries, has been working in the most deprived and marginalized communities in Ghana, changing lives and inspiring change. Starting in the Upper East region in 1990 and expanding into the Northern, Upper West and Bono Ahafo regions, ActionAid now works in 6 of Ghana's regions, including the Greater Accra and Volta region, with more than 2 million people, guided by the human rights-based approach and feminist principles. A world without poverty is possible if we all work together to influence policies in favor of people living in poverty, tailoring specific interventions that address the structural causes of poverty and empowering them to create change for themselves, their families, and their communities. Our approach to development is unique and different. We tackle inequalities and unequal power relations from the roots, building the power within people to claim their rights, influence the right policies to ensure effective distribution of resources in a way that develops their resilience. We are in alliance with social movements, activists and people's organizations to impact the lives of people living in poverty, especially women and children. Our social movements include Activista, to work with the youth to demand for change through impactful advocacy programs.
We want a world free of violence, a world free of poverty, a world free of injustice, a world free of inequality, and that is the vision of Activista.
The Young Urban Women Movement is an active group of 2,000 young women challenging gender inequality, unpaid care work, cultural and traditional acts of violence. Our smallholder women movement are mobilizing around our program areas to demand their right to land and productive resources.
We all identify that women are a key stakeholder in our families, in our communities, and our country. So we have to make conscious effort to support the development of women.
We get low yields, which discourage us on farming. But so far as we are here, if the government is able to provide this tractor service for us, I think our farming will end successful for us.
By intensifying our work with these movements, ActionAid Ghana over the next decade is strengthening and increasing the participation of young people, rural women and people living in poverty to be active agents of change, driving development and influencing policies that challenge the structural causes of poverty and injustice. At the rural community level, where there are no law enforcement and judicial institutions, our community-based anti-violence terms combats are building the capacities of local structures and community members to address gender-based violence, child marriage, teenage pregnancy, and female genital mutilation. Education is one of the biggest challenges to poverty, and in our work, ActionAid Ghana promotes access to quality public education for boys and girls in rural communities, which respects their rights. With over 400 girls' clubs, young women parliamentarians, girls' camps, and a multi-purpose center for youth activism, we have built a critical mass of young people, students, and pupils in basic schools who are working hard to better their lives. From the community level, inching towards the district, regional and national level, ActionAid Ghana is poised to work together with our movements to promote children's right to education, address gender inequality, and challenge social and economic inequalities. We are dedicated to facilitate sustainable development. In our work, we have sought to shift power and give people living in poverty the tools and resources to influence policies by taking on the hidden and invisible powers that control wealth, reserving it for the elite, and leaving millions of women and children trapped in the cycle of poverty. This is why we are against harmful tax incentives given to multinational companies which deny our governments billions of dollars needed for development.
So you give off your tax base because you are expecting some inflows. But the problem that we always fail to recognize is that these inflows that are going to come, are you looking at the other side, whatever is taken out of the country because you are giving off your tax base? These are critical issues that we need to address.
As the Labour Party's development spokesperson, I was aware before I came to Ghana that Ghana is losing billions because of tax avoidance and unfair taxation treaties. It was very interesting to come to this meeting this morning and hear from Ghanaian experts and hear all the details.
This is ActionAid. We are increasing possibilities for people to claim their right to a life of dignity. Join us today.